In the summer of 1911, a Louvre handyman named Vincenzo Peruggia unhooked a portrait from the wall, hid it under his smock, and walked out the door. Before the heist, this exact painting was a moderately respected Renaissance piece, but the global media frenzy over its disappearance vaulted the Mona Lisa into the most famous artwork on Earth. The true significance of the heist lies in the specific calendar date Peruggia chose, August 21. We usually think of history moving horizontally, progressing sequentially year by year. But if we rotate the timeline 90 degrees, we can look at history vertically, slicing through time to see everything that happened on one specific day of the calendar across centuries. Stacking up the events of August 21 reveals a dense, volatile cross-section of human existence. It shows exactly how rapidly the world can be torn down and rebuilt in a matter of 24 hours. Take the struggle for human liberation. Time and time again, this specific date, August 21, has served as a flashpoint. To see this, we jump back to 1791. In the French colony of Saint-Domingue, enslaved Africans held a secretive voodoo ceremony at Bois Caiman. This gathering became the catalyst for a mass uprising against their enslavers, igniting the Haitian Revolution. Exactly 40 years later, on August 21, 1831, the calendar aligned again, this time in Southampton County, Virginia, where Nat Turner launched his own rebellion. Turner led a coordinated, violent uprising against the institution of slavery. The ensuing days of fierce fighting left dozens of people dead and permanently escalated the American conflict over forced labor. Separated by decades and an ocean, these two moments share a spot on the calendar. On this specific day, marginalized people chose to risk execution to dismantle the systems oppressing them. The borders of nations also tend to fracture and expand on this date. Back in 1770, the British explorer James Cook formally claimed the entire eastern half of Australia for the British Crown. Fast forward to 1959, and the political map shifted again as crowds gathered to watch an artillery salute in Honolulu. On this day, Hawaii was officially absorbed as the 50th state of the U.S. Union. On August 21, 1991, a hardline military coup against Mikhail Gorbachev collapsed in the streets of Moscow. As the military lost control to civilian resistance, the Soviet sphere rapidly fractured, and nations like Latvia declared full independence. An island becomes a state, an empire claims a continent, a superpower breaks apart. Tracing this date exposes a world map in a constant restless state of revision. August 21 is also a recurring date for the creation of massive global systems, starting at the Dumbarton Oaks Conference in 1944. The delegates sitting around this table were laying the architectural groundwork for a new international governing body, the organization we now know as the United Nations. While 1944 provided a blueprint for diplomacy, the next decade delivered a terrifying technological leap on the same calendar day. At the height of the Cold War in 1957, the Soviet Union successfully launched a rocket called the R-7 Semyorka on a long-range test flight. The R-7 was the world's first intercontinental ballistic missile. It proved that a weapon could be fired from one continent and strike another in minutes, initiating the nuclear missile age. In the brief span of just over a single decade, August 21 delivered humanity's most ambitious tool for international cooperation and its most efficient mechanism for global destruction. So far, we've only looked at human choices, but history is also shaped by forces completely outside of our control, and they share this anniversary too. In 1986, a volcanic lake in Cameroon called Lake Nyos suddenly overturned. A massive cloud of dense carbon dioxide gas erupted from the water and sank into the surrounding valleys, quietly asphyxiating up to 1,800 people. Compare that localized tragedy to the cosmic spectacle of 2017, when millions of people across the continental United States stood in the shadow cast by the moon during a total solar eclipse. Looking at all these events stacked together, it is tempting to look for a pattern, but there is no magical or predestined significance attached to the 233rd day of the Gregorian calendar. The reality is purely mathematical. Human existence is so dense, so violent, and so remarkably innovative that any given day you choose to isolate carries an unimaginable payload of history. August 21 is just one example. It proves that every morning we wake up, we are stepping onto a foundation built by centuries of rebellion, invention, and destruction, all happening on that exact same day.